That day felt longer than most. Mom spent the entire morning calling for help, one number after another, explaining Poochie's condition, the injury, her inability to move. Each voice on the other end sounded sympathetic, but always ended the same way. "You'll have to bring her in a box." Mom's eyes went to the small mat where Poochie lay. The thought of lifting her, even gently, made her heart pound with fear. Poochie flinched at the smallest sound, her hind legs trembling whenever she tried to shift. Still, by noon, Mom decided to try. She brought out an old cardboard box, lined it with a torn towel, and placed it beside the mat. Her voice was soft, pleading, "Come on, little one, this will help you." But the sight of the box terrified Poochie. She pressed her ears back, gave a frightened, low hiss, and tried to drag herself away. Her weak body moved barely a few inches, yet the strain was visible. Mom stopped instantly. It was clear, forcing her inside would only make it worse. Later that afternoon, when despair began to weigh heavier than the silence, a small ray of hope arrived. A kind neighbor passed along the number of an animal ambulance. Mom called immediately. The driver, gentle and reassuring, said he could come by in the evening to take Poochie to a vet. For the first time that day, Mom felt relief. She sat near the door, watching over Poochie while waiting for the sound of the van. Evening came. The sky turned gold, then purple. Every sound made her turn, a passing bike, a car door, but none belonged to the ambulance. The clock struck 8, then 9. No one came. The disappointment stung, but when Mom saw how frightened Poochie became at every small movement, she felt oddly thankful too. For tonight, Poochie would not have to be forced into another box, so they let it be. The night grew heavy. The air was thick with cold. Mom sat by the half-open door, lamplight spilling softly across the veranda. The bowl of milk and plate of bread sat untouched beside the mat. Only the water bowl had shifted slightly, a sign that Poochie had drunk some. Mom clung to that small detail like a promise. Each hour she checked again, sometimes just watching, other times whispering softly, "You're safe here, Poochie. Stay strong." Her eyes followed Mom wherever she went, faint glimmers of trust shining through the pain. By the time dawn arrived, the world outside was damp with dew. The mat looked rumpled, the food still untouched. But when Mom came to the door, Poochie lifted her head. Slow, weak, but deliberate. Mom smiled for the first time in hours. That morning, she made a small decision. She walked to the nearby store and came back with a tiny packet of dry cat food. Something new, something cats were supposed to love. She opened it near the mat. The smell drifted gently in the cool air. Poochie sniffed. Then, dragging herself slightly forward, she began to eat. Cautious, slow, but determined. Just a few bites, but it was enough. Mom's heart filled with quiet relief. The night of fear had given way to a morning of hope, and though the wounds would take time, the bond that formed that night, between pain and patience, fear and faith, would remain unbroken.